Hey guys, I wanted to show you this new spray gun and cup system that I recently got. You've seen me probably use a cup gun like this before. It's a Husky HVLP gravity feed gun from Homedepot. And these are actually, for $49, are actually a really decent buy. I actually have 3 of them right now, and this is actually number 4, but I'm going to modify this one a little bit. And I'll get to that in a second. But anyways, like I said, this is a cheap gun, probably made in Taiwan, I'm thinking. But made in China. I don't know if that's any better or worse. But anyways, this is actually, like I said, a pretty decent quality gun. I mean, it's obviously doesn't stack up to something like a Binks or Kremlin, DeVilbiss, Iwata, Seda, Estero. There's all sorts of different brands out there. Anyways, but basically I use these cheap guns here for the real small odds and ends, like a colored lacquer, a dye stain, glazes, stuff of that nature, stuff that I don't run on a regular basis. But anyways, what I'm going to do with this one here is you can get what they call a kit that's made by 3M called the PPS. It's a paint preparation system. 3M's had the system out for a while. Basically what it is you get a cup, an adapter, some liners, and then some lids. So basically what it is, those of you who are mothers or fathers and have known what the baby bottle system is with the disposable liners, exact same principle. In fact, I'm thinking that maybe somebody in 3M had used that idea maybe on a weekend or something, thinking, hey, I could paint a car with this idea. Not sure how it came out, but anyways, 3M has made the system for a while now, probably 5, maybe close to 10 years already. But anyways, you can buy a starter kit, which is what I did here. And in the starter kit, you get the disposable cup, you get the adapter, and this you need to specify as far as which gun you have. This is the number 2 adapter that fits a wide variety of guns. And then you get these lids. Now the disposal, or the nice thing about this system is that the liners and the lids are disposable. So once you're done using them, you throw them away. With that being said, they do come with a cost. I will let you know that up front. Depending on where you find these, the lids and liners, and they are sold as a kit together, they range anywhere from $98 for a set of 50 lids and liners, anywhere up to, I think I've seen like $134. I've been looking on eBay thinking I was going to find a steal there, and they were actually, some of the suppliers on eBay were actually more expensive. So I had gotten these from a distributor in Wisconsin, and he actually had the starter kit, was actually one of the cheaper for the starter kits. This kit, that not including the gun, the cup, the adapter, and the lids and liners is $75. Now remember that once you have the cup and the adapter, you don't need to buy these again. You can buy more cups and you can buy more adapters if you're going to set up more guns. The adapters run about, I think I saw online anywhere from $4 all the way up to about $12. And I'm not sure as far as what dictates pricing, if it's volume or whatever it is, but this one here, if I would have bought the adapter alone, it was around $9. It is stainless steel, so it's not like a cheap carbon steel that could actually start rusting if you're using waterborne or acid cured or acid catalyzed finish. You can get the cups separately. This is a 650 milliliter, I think they also call it a 24-ounce cup. If you buy the cup separately, it comes in a kit of 2. And the set of cups is like $32. But again, this you keep on reusing. The only thing that you have to keep investing is the liners and the lids. So 10 will get me through for what I need to do. I need to actually stain up this cabinet behind me, which is actually a separate video. But anyways, I just wanted to share with you this 3M PPS system. So what I did today is I went to the local Home Depot and picked up another cheap gun. And so what I'm going to do now in this next part is actually set this gun up to use the 3M PPS system. I did open this box when I got into the parking lot after I purchased it to make sure that this was new and there wasn't any missing parts. So that's one thing you probably want to do. Last thing you want to do is get ready to set up and then find out when you go put everything together that you're missing something. So, okay, this is the cup that comes with it, and this is actually for a $50 gun, this is actually a decent setup, believe it or not. You know, you can spend a few $100s on something like a DeVilbiss, Kremlin, Iwata, Binks, you know, all the big brands manufacturers. Like I said, you can spend a lot of money on. Now, like I said, you do get what you pay for. But if it's something that you're going to use, you know, occasionally here and there, this is not a bad gun by no means. And I'm not saying that, oh, this is the best gun, because I've worked with some other guns at where I work that are by far superior to this. It's just that I refuse to spend $300 to $700 on a gravity feed spray gun that I use probably 4 times a year. So, anyways, this is the cup that normally comes with it. And actually a pretty snug fit here. And it's you know, a decent high density quality plastic. It's got a little vent on top here. So, but anyways, I won't need that. Comes with a gun hanger. That's always nice, hanging on the wall. And here is the gun itself. Instructions. We don't need that. So. Sure make these things child-proof. That I will say. First of all, one thing I've noticed with these particular guns is they are always got an oil residue on it. So the one thing that I can tell you from experience that works very well, and I'm sure that I'm going to get chastised somewhere on this. A good degreasing solvent when working with an oil on your finishing equipment or your woodworking machinery, the best degreaser you can use is V&P naphtha. Okay, so I'm just going to use some naphtha here just to wipe this gun down. Not to get this oil all over any goods that are going to get finished or any machinery, because you can be chasing fisheyes in your finishing process for a long time if you don't degrease it. Just going to wipe the whole gun, and as you can see here, I got some oil in here already, and that's just probably from the manufacturing, but again, being that these are shipped overseas, I'm assuming that they load them up full of oil so that they don't rust. Even though they've done a pretty good job of plating this. And before I actually use this, I will flush out with some solvent just to get the passages clean and everything, because the first time I'm going to be using this gun is, like I said, I'm going to be spraying up this cabinet here in a separate video. But it's actually going to be a dye stain followed by a wiping stain. So this is the reason I bought the gun, was more so for the dye stain. And I just thought that the 3M PPS system might be a real good thing for it. The other nice thing about using this system with the cup and the liners is once you set it up, you will actually start the gun with it upside down. And the way these gravity feed guns are set up is they do basically pull a real small vacuum off the front here, much like a siphon feed, and you'll actually make the bag or the liner collapse inside here, getting rid of all the air out of it. The idea behind that is now your gun can use any different direction versus strictly spraying with the cup on top. So, okay. So, here is the adapter, and this just screws onto the top like this. They surely don't put a lot of time into this. I didn't realize this. This is the right adapter. I did check to make sure the right model number, gun, and everything, but they don't thread this very far. This just screws on here, and that's it. So, use a wrench, tighten it up like that. Now basically the spray gun's ready to go. I need to put an adapter in the end yet, which I failed to do, so I'm going to have to rob one off one of the other guns. But this gun here is ready to go. Let me just set a liner and lid up for you so you can actually see how this works out. So here's a liner and a lid. So basically you put your liner in the cup, pour your material in the cup, take the lid, which also has a filter mesh built into it. You can get these in 125 micron and a 250 micron. I believe this is a 100 or 125, I don't remember. It was designed for solvents, not waterborne. Anyways, you put the lid on, snap it down, take the locking ring, tighten the locking ring on, take your gun, push down, and give it a twist that locks it in place. Now you have a spray gun after you've hooked up to your compressed air. Pull the trigger and this bag will start to push up in the inside like this here. And you do this until you have material coming out of the gun. Once you're done, now you have a completely sealed system that will allow you to spray in any different direction. Okay, so I'm just going to run some lacquer thinner through this gun a little bit here, and that'll be enough to clean out the fluid passages. And then the next time you see this gun in use, I actually won't demo it in this video. I'll actually be demoing it in the next video, which will be, or an upcoming video, which will be the finishing of this big cabinet again. Like I said, it's going to be a really interesting project, something I've never done in the shop here before. So anyways, I'm going to keep you in suspense. Don't need a lot here. So basically, here's your product. Put your lid in place, make sure it's seated down all the way around. Put your ring on, or your fastening or locking ring. Hold the gun upside down like this, or like hold your gun upside down and your cup right side up. Push it down, then give it a little bit of a twist, and it'll lock in place. Now it can go in any which direction. Now, this particular gun, here's one of the things that this gun does not come with. It doesn't come with a regulator. So if you don't control your airflow to the gun, whether it be at your compressor or a separate regulator on a short air line to the gun, you're going to be blasting at whatever your compressed air system set up for. My system, for example, is set up for 165 psi. I don't need that. So what I've done is I've made this little adapter, which is a same male fitting as what's on the end of the gun here, and then this is actually an air adjusting valve. And what this is, it's just basically a needle valve that allows you to control the air volume through here. Not necessarily air pressure, air volume. And then here's just a female connector that just basically snaps onto the bottom of the gun. Now, some of the guns that you can buy on the market, I know like the DeVilbiss and the CA Technologies Jaguar gravity feed gun, there is a little valve on the bottom here, and all it is a little knob with the stem that basically cuts off the airflow in the gun handle. So it's basically doing the same thing. It's not changing air pressure, it's changing air volume. So I'd hook my air hose up to here and I'd spray away. Now the nice thing about this is, and this is probably more so just to the gravity feed gun, whether you have the PPS system on it or not, that you don't need air pressure to flush out the gun. I don't know if you just saw that, but that was pretty yellow here. So as you can see, there's nothing in here anymore. It's all out of the gun body, nothing coming out. So this gun has been flushed out now. Being I just had lacquer thinner in this liner, I will use it for one of the new coatings coming up, whether it's the wipe stain or dye stain, not sure. But the other thing I kind of wanted to point out was these liners, even though they're disposable, depending on what you use it for, you might be able to reuse it a couple times. Especially, for example, if you're going to use it with a wiping stain, for example, you could quite possibly use this liner over a couple of times. When you're done, just dump the stain back into its container, and maybe take some mineral spirits or some other solvent and kind of slosh it around in here a little bit, and then maybe take a rag and wipe out. You know, you can reuse these to a certain extent. The one thing I've learned though is if you do that, especially like where I use them for like a colored enamel coat, the mesh has a tendency of not becoming very clean. But the nice thing about the mesh is there is a little pull tab in here, and you can pull the mesh out. The only disadvantage is that once you pull the mesh out, it's out permanently. You can't snap it back in place. But if you're using it for wiping stain, you wouldn't necessarily need a mesh. The mesh is more so really designed for your coatings, like your enamels or your colored lacquers, your clear coats, anything that is going to have an impact if it has some debris in it. So it still probably wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe strain your finish before you put it in the cup. But here again, you've got this one last filter before it actually gets to the gun. This gun did come with its own little filter as well. I don't know how well these work. I don't think I've ever actually used one to begin with. I've always taken the time to strain the coating. In fact, the last time I used one of these Husky guns was I was demonstrating the use of a waterborne wiping stain and finish. And it had dawned on me in the finishing process that when I had started doing the seal coat, I didn't strain it. Even though the sealer and top coat are the same, it was a self-seal system, I didn't actually take the time to strain it. So what I did was when I went to go spray the top coat, I actually had dumped the material of the gun, flushed out the gun a little bit with water, and then used a paper cone filter and ran the material through it to make sure that what was going into the gun was as clean as I could possibly get it. So the one thing I also will let you know of that 3M is not the only manufacturer that makes this. In fact, actually, CA Technologies actually is kind of partnered up with 3M, I think, a little bit. So now this kit I got, this distributor I got this from, he's actually a CA Technologies distributor. CA Technologies, by the way, is it's a group of guys, I think, that might have worked for some of the competitors, and they kind of looked at some of the flaws that their competitors had and kind of came up with their own version of guns. They also have some air caps that fit some of the existing manufacturers like Binks and DeVilbiss and stuff like that, where they felt they've improved the atomization. But anyways, this is the kit, and the only thing that once you have the kit is you just need to continue to purchase lids and liners. As I said earlier, there's other manufacturers that make these. There's 3 of them that I know of, 3 total manufacturers that I know of that actually make a system like this, or make this system. First of all is a 3M system, which is what this is. This is a 3M system. The next one is DeVilbiss. DeVilbiss has their own system, and they call it D-cups. And it's not what you think it is. It's D for DeVilbiss, and cups is spelled K-U-P-S. It's a similar system, but it's different. The cup is totally different. The liners are different. If I remember correctly, the cups are narrower and taller, and like this one here has got a hole in the end. DeVilbiss is actually open on the end entirely, but I believe it's flared out a little bit so it actually stand on its head a little bit better. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think the cup is completely round. I think it's got a little bit of a shape to it, like a star shape or something. But anyways, so DeVilbiss makes their own called the D-cup system. And the one thing I've noticed about DeVilbiss, I have worked with them before, is their liners aren't as flexible as this. They're a little bit more rigid. And I don't know if that rigidness will not allow you to get all the paint out of here, or if it performs the same. That I'm not sure of. And then I believe a company called either it's Asturo or Astro. Now there are 2 companies that still make finishing equipment, but Asturo is I think an Italian company, and Astro I think is maybe like a Chinese or Japanese company that just makes some. It's like a cheaper version. But one of those companies have their version as well, and I think that particular company, they don't actually have the cup. I think it's just the liner and the lid. If I can get this together or not here. I think it's just the lid and liner and then a ring to lock the 2 together, so you don't have any protection around here. So, and I want to say that that particular brand that I'm talking about, whether it's Astro or Asturo, whichever one of those 2 it is, I don't think that they make adapters that fit any of the other guns. 3M was the one that was making adapters to fit everyone's gun, and then I think DeVilbiss also makes adapters to fit a few of their competitors. So anyways, that would conclude this video of this 3M PPS system. And like I said, the next time you'll actually get to see this in action or in use is when I'm doing some finishing on a cabinet here. So that should be shortly, but until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. Questions or comments are welcome. Thanks for watching.